Stay tuned for 5 must-buy wide receiver targets in Dynasty Football right now. Welcome on in, channel, to Dynasty League Dynamo. My name is James. We're going to go over 5 wide receiver targets for you to acquire in your league today. All 5 are going to be must-adds in terms of a Dynasty League, but they're all going to be able to help you win this year. We're going to jump right into it. Our first receiver is going to be DJ Moore. DJ Moore, Carolina Panthers, has been a commodity for fantasy football players for the last few years. He's in his 4th season in the league. He's already got 2 1,000-yard seasons, which is great. He's commanded the 2nd most targets in the league this year. He's essentially been quarterback-proof his entire career. You look and see what happened beginning of the season when he had decent to good quarterback play. First 3 weeks, Sam Darnold looked pretty damn good. And then Sam Darnold does what Sam Darnold does and just completely fell off the map. We kind of knew it was going to happen. Didn't think it was going to happen that quick. Needless to say, it still happened. But regardless, DJ Moore, the number 9 scoring receiver, number 2 in targets. He commands so much attention in that offense. And this is all happening with CMC out. Once McCaffrey's back, it opens things up. That's why he's a target for me. It's not a coincidence. McCaffrey goes down. Darnold starts to struggle. Therefore, DJ Moore struggles a little bit. McCaffrey comes back. Darnold should look better. Moore should look better. I mean, it's just how it's going to go. Not only that, based on his age, he's already have a proven track record. Again, quarterback proof. If you can get him in your league right now, there's going to be owners that are down on him because of his production the last 3 weeks. His numbers are down. He's barely cracking 10 points in full PPR scoring over the last 3 weeks. So if you can get him right now, do it. He's going to be a wide receiver 1, worst case scenario, back end wide receiver 1, front end wide receiver 2 going forward. And that's into next year. Capitalize on it now and grab him. Our second receiver is going to be DeOntae Johnson, Pittsburgh Steelers. Johnson actually right now, he's missed 2 games. He's already had his bye, and he missed 1 week earlier in the season. But he's actually the number 11, 10 or 11 scorer for a wide receiver in terms of average. So he's putting up wide receiver 1 numbers. He's in an offense that they're slinging the ball a lot. Like Ben's throwing the ball 39 times a game, which is unsustainable. But Johnson is his number 1 target. So he's in an offense that's throwing the ball a lot. A quarterback that's constantly looking at him. What's not to like on this? Go get him. Plug him into your lineup. He's an every week wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 starter. He's young. His 3rd season in the league. There's plenty of upside. But for whatever reason, he's constantly disrespected. When you think about the top end young receivers in the league, DeOntae Johnson is just not being brought up. It's just a fact. But he's been very, very steady. His numbers have increased year over year since he's been a rookie. So Johnson, go grab him. There's really not a whole lot to say. If you can get him, I guarantee you're going to get him a lot cheaper than any other of the top 12 to 15 dynasty receivers. He's probably going to be one of the cheapest. Our third is going to be Michael Pittman, Colts. Only in his 2nd season. Last year, he struggled with injuries. Things were kind of up and down for him. This year, he is balling. Pittman, number 20 in scoring right now for wide receivers. He's pretty much already matched all of his numbers from last year. Receptions, yards, touchdowns. He's either exceeded those numbers or he's closing in really quick. And there's only room to grow. And Carson Wentz this year has been average. He's literally been the standard for an average quarterback in the NFL and fantasy. But he's looking at Pittman, and Pittman passes the eye test. All these receivers do, but Pittman definitely passes the eye test. The Monday night game, San Fran, just the conditions that they were in, and to watch Pittman do what he did, if you have a receiver who can show up in those conditions and look as good as he did, go grab him. And the thing about Pittman too, I feel like Pittman's kind of been lost in the shuffle in the last couple of seasons. The NFL has been blessed with receiver talent the last few years. There's been a lot of big names that have come in that have been really good right away. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Obviously, they're not in this video because there's no way you're getting those guys undervalued right now. Like, they're pretty much unattainable. But it's not even only them. You have Chase, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Waddle. I mean, there's been a lot of guys come in that have played really well right off the gate. So Michael Pittman's another target. Would definitely be looking to get him if you can. The window's closing on him for sure. Our last two are both rookies from this season. They're not performing due to a couple of different reasons. One, our number 4 is going to be DeVonta Smith. Loved his tape coming out. All the hype about his weight and getting pushed around. I haven't really seen that as an issue for him this year. He's constantly getting open. He creates great separation, runs great routes. He has excellent hands. His biggest issue is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been a dud. He's been great in fantasy, but in NFL real life, he's been terrible. And even with fantasy, Hurts is one of the worst scoring quarterbacks through the first 3 quarters, but he's the number 1 scoring fantasy quarterback in the 4th quarter garbage time. And a lot of that's attributed to his legs and just running around. He constantly leaves the pocket, doesn't give Smith an opportunity. So right now is the time to get Smith because there's two things that can happen. One, Hurts settles in because it's his first season starting. He may settle in. Things might slow down for him. And we can see him take off. It's possible. He's definitely talented. And if that were to happen, get Smith now. You're going to get a bargain. But if it doesn't happen and Hurts doesn't turn it around, Philadelphia has 2 first-round picks next year. They have theirs and they have Miami's. Miami's got 1 win. So Philly's going to be in position to get themselves a quarterback next season for sure. If you can get Smith now, you're going to get him on the cheap. And if they do bring in a quarterback with the first 1, 2, 3 picks, Smith's stock's going to shoot right up. Grab him now. He's going to have his games. This week's a great example. Week 8, going against the Lions, I'm starting Smith. Start him. Probably going to be comfortable. Hurts doesn't have the pressure. Like, Detroit's not going to be able to get pressure on Hurts like he's been facing. When he has a clean pocket, he's done pretty well. You put him under pressure, it's game over. It's not going to happen. But this week, you can start Smith comfortably as a wide receiver too, in my opinion. I'm going to be starting him. So you're going to have games still this season where Smith is a viable option. For your wide receiver 2 or 3. He'll be viable this year. Our last one, KADARIUS TONEY. TONEY is electric. He's the definition of dynamo, what this site is based off of, this channel. Dynasty League Dynamo, TONEY is dynamo. You put him in, like, he has a different gear. Trevon Diggs has been so good this year, and what TONEY did to him, it was unbelievable. And then he followed that up the next week, the first series, 3-36, before he tweaked the ankle. TONEY's going to be very good for a very long time, I believe. He's undervalued right now based on that injury. So if you can grab him, go get him. It's like, you should be looking at it in a multitude of different ways. If you can get these guys, even if you're competing, get them because they're going to help you win this year. But if you're not competing and you got a bunch of vets, it's time to sell people off and go invest in some of these young receivers. Easiest way to turn things around in Dynasty is to build up that receiver room. They last the longest. They produce the highest. Go get your receivers, lock down your future, and you'll be winning championships before you know it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it.